The Ascended 4
But
workshop
then I get a
characters
little
would be
sugar
releasing
in me
this
and I
week.
start to go
I've been excited to
cuckoo.
play them.
Hey people, IndieAnjelo here. It's been a while since my 2-hour-long video talking about games that no one cares about. I like to start the New Year's off with a cool game I've been playing for a while. Do you like playing competitively and being sweaty and not taking a shower for a month? Do you want to master the sport of competitive Smash and become a groomer? I sure as hell don't. As a casual player, I view Smash Brothers as a party game. Hell, I even think that Brawl is the most fun I've had in the series. I'm not really into Smash myself nowadays, but I can assure you that whether you like Smash Brothers or not, it's loved by millions, especially the Nintendo fandom. But IndieAnjelo from YouTube.com, why must you bring up Smash Brothers in this video? I'm glad you asked. Rivals of Aether is a platform fighting game where you fight as DeviantArt OCs, taking place in the world called the Aether. Basically, it's like Smash Brothers but for furries. Made by this guy right here from the land of Philadelphia. Rivals of Aether emulates the feeling of Melee, and the game adds mechanics that haven't been seen in the mainline Smash Brothers games or any other Smash-like game ever. I could be wrong since I don't really play, dare I say, competitively. I'm just a bystander, so what does it take to become a true Rivals of Aether player? From countless hours of mastering each character's movesets, potentially becoming fat and gay in the big leagues, just from playing a 4-player party game. Is this game meant for a casual or hardcore audience of fighting games? I suppose we'll have to find that out. I'll be playing the definitive version from Steam for this review, because it's the only way to fully experience this Smash-like game from the comfort of your computer. Also, I highly recommend using a controller for this game, because you would have to be mentally deranged to play the game with the keyboard. The story in this game. In the story mode, it is split up by 7 chapters containing each character's campaigns, so I'll probably not go too deep into it, but basically a dark force or entity has been invading the Aether, and you and your animal friends will stop it from taking over their homeland by playing matches to progress through each story of said character before getting to the final boss. Really, the story mode isn't that great and it doesn't really offer anything to the game at all. Maybe for some Aether shekels, but that's it. Now, I want to talk about the lore of this game because most of these characters are different species of animals. I want to know if they waged war against one another. The Fire Nation, where Zetterberg resides, are the type of people to kill everyone who comes in their way to gain power. What do they even eat? Do they eat themselves or do they fish? How does the economy even work? The reason why I'm asking this is because the lore is really shallow and I really wish each campaign would expand by talking about the world of the Aether within each character's stories. I want to know how the Aether came to be in the first place. I didn't give a shit about the story mode because it was boring. Boring to the point where I constantly kept on mashing the A button the whole time, just wanting to be done with the mode. But one cool part is the final boss. Quite challenging to the common eye, but a bit too easy. Give me more of this, bro. Now, this brings me to Abyss mode. Abyss mode is a mode where you inject massive amounts of testosterone and beat the ever-living shit out of purple parasites, clones of existing characters under supervision by the dark matter. They did nothing wrong, by the way, they were just trying to do their jobs. In this mode, runes are a game changer and can be used exclusively in the Abyss mode. There is a plethora of unique thrones. Unique thrones, okay. There is a plethora of unique runes that each character can equip. For example, this character can run super fast. Different animations enlarge the hitbox, making that move much more powerful than their shit move before, making them really broken as fuck and fun to play as. And runes that make moves cancel earlier or something. I'm no expert at this, but if it makes my character really OP, I'm all for that. There is a versus mode if you want to play with friends. Unlike me, who doesn't have anyone who's interested in this game, that's why my social life is collapsing because of this.
What are you, fucking gay?
Right now, Endless is the most interesting mode. However, what's not so interesting is that you have to grind to use the full potential of these runes, playing endless mode over and over again, just to open up a slot for your runes. Not even room for those 3-block runes, but there's something even better. You have to buy runes using the in-game currency to use them. I said fuck that, I'm trying to record a video, so I decided to use the Konami code to unlock everything right on the spot. The downside to that is everything resets after a match, and thus you would have to use the code again. Honestly, where's the fun in that when you can start as a poor, lower class citizen of society when you can cheat in life and become powerful just with a press of a button? Don't tell Dan or else he will break into my house again to harass me about it. So, Abyss mode is cool, but it is very lacking, similar to story mode. Now, as for the characters, I'll be doing a quick rundown for each of them, describing from what I played thus far, because explaining each of their moves and mechanics would take too long, too much work even. You'd have to be a madman to analyze everything, even for the base cast. Zetterburn, the furry Mario of this game, is your basic and user-friendly character, utilizing his fire attacks to burn his victims in a match. His up special being a ripoff from Fox and Falco, and his side special being a horizontal fire attack. You can spam this and still win a match. Orcane, a piss poor character who can lay cum puddles and use them to recover with his up special. Orcane is like the Ice Climbers. No one likes the Ice Climbers. Raster, Falco's long lost cousin, is a bird character who does bird things, using his wings to attack like an autist. Crag is actually a decent character to play as. He's like Bowser but reincarnated as a dirt bug. Crag is a heavyweight character who uses the power of rocks to throw at his opponents like a true alpha. Bring up spikes to penetrate your opponent's gaping asshole. And most importantly, spawning a literal fucking pillar. This move is broken as hell. Force Burn is like your uncle who keeps telling you he'll quit smoking, but never does. This is probably Dan's edgy Sonic OC, but turned it into an original character. He can make a clone who will fight alongside you, for a limited time that is, and use his smoke ability to, I guess, to confuse opponents. I don't know what this move does, honestly. It's useless. I never play as this character too. I just think he looks cool. Maple, a closeted lesbian who has the power of throwing grass clippings at you. Absa is like a mix of Zelda, Mewtwo, and Ness. Typically a very floaty character who utilizes clouds and electricity from the palm of her hands. She's kinda like Marip, but as a fighter. Italis is an angry polar bear who uses ice powers. Not as good as Crag, but he can use his ice dick to dominate his fellow opponents in battle. Just use protection, trust me. Rano, a frog from the land of the Far East. A martial artist who also vores people for his sexual fantasies. He can poison his opponents using his poison moves, causing them to have food poisoning over time. Clarin is probably the coolest fucking character I've played so far.
Impressive. Very nice.
Being from the far future, where Zetterburn and Forceborn fucked off for some reason and never came back, using her lightsaber katana to pull some sick ass moves. Fast as a kid with ADHD and pretty devastating if you know how to use her in a match. I fully recommend playing as her if you are god tier playing as Marth in Melee. Savanos is like a Doberman, but with special needs. He's a tree-like dog who possesses the power of tree trunks to easily win in a match. He also shits out grass whenever you walk. Eliana is pretty much like Bowser Jr., but even more crippled. Her moves are missiles provided by North Korea and smash attacks that are literal dog shit. Doesn't even land a KO too, which sucks because I really like her mech design. But they ruined it by giving her steam for her smash attacks. At least her specials are truly remarkable. Ori. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, no one really cares about her, or it, or him. And finally, Shovel Knight, the best character addition to Rivals of Aether. Truly a competent character who everyone recognizes from his hit game, Shovel Knight, and my only reason to buy this game. His moves are very memorable, and his coin mechanic is really cool. If you collect enough coins, you can taunt to bring up the shop menu to choose a weapon of your choice. Even armor as well. They don't do anything, but cosmetically, it's very nice to look at. But that's impossible because a sweaty Rivals player will interrupt you while you're browsing the catalog. In my opinion, I think Shovel Knight is by far my favorite character to play as. If you don't think so, I guess you just don't have taste. Hey guys, post-Angelo here, I guess. After recording the lines of me talking about the characters, Dan decided to release 4 more characters from the workshop, so I'm just gonna do like a quick brief of them. So there's Palm, who sings. There's the Rat, who uses her fist, like her gem fist, to shove it up her opponent's assholes. White Donkey Kong, and a moth thing that throws bombs. Yeah, I won't bother like actually editing this in because this video is long enough, and it's already like half a year already into making this fucking video, so yeah, that's all I gotta say. You may be asking, hey Angelo, who the hell is this character? They're not from Basecast. What the hell is this abomination? Well, my friend, these strange characters are from the workshop. I have very mixed feelings about the workshop. Why? Because 90% of it is filled with furries, and the other 10% are decent characters. If you're into playing as furries, well, you should consider seeking psychology. The characters themselves, gameplay-wise, aren't bad, but they are way too much of them. However, that doesn't stop me from downloading and playing some of these characters. Over 100 plus pages worth of characters, ranging from pure autism to Chad-like creations. I am fully aware that these mods were made by people not being paid to make them, but people need to criticize. No one has to have the same opinion. I learned that the hard way. And with this in mind, I'll be talking about my 2 favorite characters that I main during my online matches with my friends. I'll get to the online part later, being both King Briggs and Yutu Ichika. Let's start off with King Briggs first. He may be small, but in his heart, he is truly a king. Hence his name, King Briggs. His moveset consists of a shotgun. A double barrel shotgun in fact, which can be shot 2 times, unleashing a really big hitbox. A grapple hook that can be used to launch him up back to battle. You just gotta know how to use this move precisely and accurately. If you don't, it's just like being a handicap who just fell off their wheelchair. Down special lets you summon your feline friends to irritate other people. I think this move is the most beneficial thus far, since I am a spammer myself. I don't really take the courtesy to take the first hit. What I do is just spam a shit ton of cats and hope to win a match. That's my strategy if I ever go to a Rivals of Aether workshop tournament. Maybe one day, but not in a billion years. His neutral special lets him say slurs on Twitter freely and never get cancelled. This is a RNG type move. Depending on what word you cuss, each of them has their own damage percentage. Fuck being the most powerful one so far. Similar to the Battle Cat's move, you can also spam this move as well. And finally, his final smash-like move, way before the Smash Ball Buddy. There is a bar above your HUD where it has 4 sections. Every time you land a hit on an opponent, your bar fills up slowly, and once it does, you taunt, and you unlock the next part of the bar. You do this until it fully fills up, allowing you to unleash a fiery ball which takes up 50% of a stage, KOing opponents around you. The radius of the explosion does exponential damage, turning your opponents into burn victims. So, if you feel like a king one day and decide to play as a workshop character, I go for King Briggs. Being a great starter character for you to play as, and his design is really cool and hip. The individual who made this character goes by the name of Coconut Bun. Their talents and hard work is truly appreciated. and if King Briggs wasn't made today, my tolerance for a workshop will be decreased, and I actually mean that. U2 Ichika is my second pick, because she is a literal waifu, and I do anything for her by loving and cherishing her through these dark times. You may call me a weeb, sure, go ahead, but at least I'm not a degenerate who makes furry characters constantly for workshop. But how does she even play? She doesn't have any mechanics like King Briggs. She's just your typical basic fighter, but her fighting style is what makes her unique. By launching a spaceship stolen from NASA, use literal meteorites to obliterate scum of the earth, and she can even stab you with a fucking icicle. Her strong smash attacks are really slow, especially when you're playing in a competitive match, but her special attacks makes up for it by strategically putting black holes, spamming side special. Trust me, this method works for this character specifically. Overall, I really like U2. I think she's pretty kawaii, and I hope I can see her in my dreams one day. I know this video is very unorganized and I have no idea how to structure my videos, but I'll be going back to the base game where I'll be talking about the stages. Stages in this game are well designed but really limited. Some are very aesthetically pleasing, fitting the atmosphere for each stage. This one is a flying stage, this one is a water stage, so forth. There are also cosmetic changes to a select few of stages. One being from a side game called Lovers of Aether, where it changes the Tower of Heaven stage into this, even including a soundtrack. You can get it by completing challenges in-game, but I got everything through manually changing stuff in the notepad files within the game's files. So I got everything, and that's how I got everything, without the need of doing challenges. Now, what's cool about these stages is you can switch from basic to Aether. What does Aether even do? It makes all the stages more interactive. It's like a real dance party, except you're getting bumped by retarded drunks. Here, let me explain. So, some stages have platforms for you to jump on or bounce off of, or hazards that will make you look like roadkill. Aether isn't really ideal for competitive matches, which is no fun, so I turned this on and I let the chaos ensue. You can do the same for workshop stages too. As for the music for each stage, I think it's pretty baller and banging because the game's soundtrack sounds really good. I mean, really good by indie game standards. Here are some notable examples that I compiled. Pretty memorable stuff, but you know what's not memorable? The online aspect of this game. Yes, there is an online mode where you and your gamer pals can play together. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Especially playing with mods. It's utter dog shit and unreliable most of the time. Depending if the person doesn't have the exact character with the same fucking updates to it too, it will not simply appear in your character select screen. Sometimes, if you do manage to get into a match, it crashes constantly for whatever reason that can't be fixed. So, my overall experience with online is mixed, and that's why I spent so many hours into this game. Why did I spend exactly 400 hours into this game? That's because I too made my own mod, a self-insert mod. A godly self-insert mod. An overlooked and underrated character that I put my sweat and tears into for 8 months. It got no recognition amongst the workshop community, but that's okay, I like to keep it that way. I'm too brain dead to know any coding, so I asked Felix Blobdev numerous times to help me through with this shit mod. It finally got released and I promise for a future update. It got none so far. As of now, I am currently working on an update for this character, and that's going to be it for me, because I don't want to make another one that will probably take up another 8 months. I got video games to play. And at this point, I am really tired of playing this game. I am tired of hearing about it too. Hey, don't get me wrong, the game is functional and many people like it, but I've spent over 400 hours. I want my 400 hours back. That's more hours than I spent on Kenshi, and I really like that game a lot. I'm sorry, but I think it's time for me to finally say goodbye to this Furry Smash Bros. Game and move on in life, because in life, there are far greater things to look forward to. So, if I ever hear about Rivals again, I am going to have a mental breakdown. So, in conclusion, Rivals of Aether is a fun game to spend a Sunday afternoon on, and with the ridiculous number of mods to play around, I think the $30 price tag justifies this purchase. Even though I bought this game way before the upgrade to the definitive version. I don't recommend buying for both the Switch and Xbox versions, since that version only contains base content and nothing else. And please don't take this game seriously, it's just a platform animal fighting game. There's nothing really competitive about it. So if you think so, then you're a fucking loser. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming garbage from me. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Ciao.
See you next time. And don't leave a negative comment. If you leave a negative comment, I'm gonna fucking dox you.